Every transformation begins with one decision: opening yourself to an idea you haven't tried yet. Today, I bring you that idea. If you dare to listen, you won't leave this video as the same person.
There are truths that hurt because they destroy beliefs we have repeated our entire lives. One of them is this: we do not fail because we lack discipline. We do not fail because we are weak. We do not fail because others have more willpower than we do. This chapter tears that myth apart with brutal clarity. Picture this: thousands of young soldiers, exhausted by the endless noise of a war that refused to end, lived their days in an environment soaked in tension. In that world, heroin flowed as easily as water. It was cheap, accessible, and offered a temporary escape from fear that never slept. The shocking part came later. When they returned home, 9 out of 10 soldiers quit the drug as if they had closed the door and never looked back. This shattered every psychological model of the time and revealed a truth we still ignore today. They did not need more willpower. They needed a new environment. The addiction did not disappear by magic. It disappeared because the context that fed it no longer existed. Now, let me take you to a second micro story. Decades later, a therapist mounted a horse for the first time after many years. The moment she held the reins, an old craving woke up inside her. She suddenly felt the urge to light a cigarette, even though she had not smoked in years. That urge was not a decision. It was a sensory memory buried inside the environment. Because habits never die completely. They sleep, and they wake when the right signals return. This scene reveals something essential. Self-control is not a spiritual battle against your mind. It is a negotiation with your surroundings. It is the invisible architecture that decides which doors stay open and which ones stay closed. People often believe that disciplined individuals possess some sort of supernatural strength, but science is very clear. The people who appear to have unbreakable willpower simply expose themselves to fewer temptations. They do not fight more. They fight less. And this is one of the most common mistakes. We think fixing our lives means becoming mental heroes, resisting impulses, and defeating them every day. But no one wins that battle forever. We are not built that way. The real secret is redesigning your environment so the temptation has nowhere to stand. Let me give you another picture. A young man tries to study, but every afternoon he falls into the same trap. He opens his notebook, feels a small spike of stress, grabs his phone. Then he checks social media. 1 video, 2, 10. When he finally notices, an hour has passed and the guilt weighs more than the fatigue. One day he leaves his phone in another room. No disciplined speeches, no motivation rituals. He simply removes the signal. The result surprises him. What used to be a battle becomes a smooth path. Not because studying became easy, but because the distraction vanished. This is real self-control, not resisting, but preventing. Now here is something important. Bad habits have a vicious mechanism. They feed themselves. You feel bad, so you eat for comfort. You eat and then feel worse. You feel anxious, so you smoke to relax. You smoke, and the anxiety returns even stronger. It is a spiral that does not begin in your mind. It begins in your environment. A photograph, a smell, a place, a song, an emotion. Any stimulus can act as a spark that reignites an old behavior. Here is a fact that might shake you completely. Showing a cocaine image for just a few millionths of a second, so fast the conscious brain cannot even register it, is enough to trigger craving in an addict. This means your deepest habits do not depend on conscious decisions. They depend on signals you sometimes cannot even perceive. That is why resisting does not work. It has never worked consistently, because temptation activates before you have any chance to defend yourself. Now, let me take you one step further. You can eliminate a habit, but you cannot erase its memory. You can only silence it by removing the signals that wake it up. This completely changes the conversation about self-control, because the real question is not how can I be stronger, The real question is, how can I design an environment that works for me? Here is the essence of the chapter. Control is not exercised inside your mind. It is exercised outside of it. If you leave the television in front of you, you will watch it. If you keep your phone in your pocket, you will check it. If you buy junk food, you will eat it. If you follow accounts that trigger envy, you will feel inadequate. Not because you are weak, but because you are human. And the opposite is also true. If you make the signals of a bad habit invisible, the habit withers. You unfollow harmful accounts. You remove the gaming console from the living room. You take the television out of the bedroom. You keep your phone far away when you need to focus. You are not fighting. You are recoding your environment. Let me close with an idea worth keeping. Self-control is not a heroic virtue. It is a strategy of design. Whoever changes their environment changes their behavior. Whoever adjusts their signals adjusts their destiny. Whoever makes temptation invisible does not need willpower. This is the deeper secret of self-control, a secret that dissolves guilt, breaks shame, and opens the door to a life that feels lighter, steadier, and more intentional.
Ideas only matter when you act on them. If this video moved you, continue, subscribe, and deepen your transformation. Resources are in